Welcome. Channel Effect presents The Gift, the Curse, and the Night, Part 2.
My name is Seth. Oh boy, I don't know where to start from. Okay, this might be best. So, I live in a small town. Now I know you can be like Seth. Shit, that's my real name. My name is Alvin, and I live in a small town. Now let me tell you about this small town. I own a bakery, in this small town. Well, it was my inheritance from my mom. I don't want to go into all the D's about that. But this town is weird and cult-like. I've been here for 3 years and they don't like tourists and people who want to get away from the city. I found out this has always been a thing in this town, even back when it was first established back in the settlers' time. Now, I like weird and creepy shit. I'm a fan of this creepy lore podcast called Stories from the Lost. Oh yeah, I also have a podcast. It's called Creep Station. My girlfriend and I host the podcasts. So, if you want to listen and even follow us, you can support it. We are on the Channel Effect server, where all podcasts are found. Okay, let me get back on topic. So this town was founded in 1890. But the first recording of the town goes further back, dated back to 1843, group of settlers found this place, and it looked like everyone had ran out of town. They wrote they took nothing. But the person who wrote this said he noticed no horse tracks could be seen leaving the town from any point, so they just took up shop. Now they wrote they didn't find anything strange. But the guy wrote he did talk to one guy. The first night in the town, he took watch to make sure no intruders came into town. He said, while walking around, he could feel like the whole forest was watching him all at once, and that the horses didn't even make sound. The guy wrote that the horses still seemed scared all day, like even afraid to move. See, this is where I would be like, fuck this shit, I'm out, and left. But these people are like, no, we're staying. So he wrote a fortnight. I had to look this up to see what it means. He could have just wrote 2 weeks later. The guy standing watch yelled. He found a stable of horses were killed, but killed in such a way that no man could kill them. Their heads looked to be ripped off. Some horses' heads were still intact, but the necks were broken. So bad, he said it looked like a fifth leg. Now I have a picture in my head, and that sounds gross. So now they have no horses if they want to leave, so they're stuck in the town. A couple of families said, fuck this, and took off. But they are never heard from again. Another fortnight. There goes that word again, fortnight. We will just say 2 weeks because we are normal, okay? 2 weeks later, they found strange markings in front of tents, and they thought nothing about it. I would have been like, fuck that, let's go. Shit, the guy wrote that he hears screams in the forest the night he took watch. So, I guess I would have stayed also. Maybe I would move tents or covered it with dirt. Maybe they wouldn't remember what tent they went to. Okay, this is Creep Station signing out. Oh, okay, welcome back. So, my girlfriend is the editor of my videos, and she said she can hear a lady in audio whispering. I can't hear it at all, so if you hear it, let me know. We have a bet going on that if I win and she's wrong, she has to come down for a weekend. But if she wins, then I have to go see that new vampire movie with her. But I told her that I was working on an episode for the podcast of this old show called Behind the Door. Oh shit, I can't spoil that for you. Bro, Stories from the Lost did an episode of it, so it got me interested. Wait, she also told me that since I've been here, I ramble a lot. I'm used to her keeping me on track, so I'm sorry, honey. Also, I'll win the bet, so I don't have to see love at first bite. Okay, let's get on track, hey. Write in the comments if you were watching the new season of The Grimm. Fuck, okay, let's get back to it. So the guy wrote that the next night the guy went missing. Like he just got up and left. Time has passed and more people are gone. They now have a rule that no one goes into the woods at night. One of the guys was a hunter and said that he found a little girl's leg. Oh, shit. The guy wrote that the hunters aren't having any luck finding any animals in the forest. Like nothing, like it's empty. But it's strange, he said he feels like the forest is watching them. If that's the case, then who or what is watching them? That's all that I found in this book. But I did find another book about this town. Now the strange thing is that I've had several people try to buy my store. Even the mayor came into my store and told me that this store is history of this town, and that someone who was born in this town would be better off telling the history of this great place. But he was condescending about it, so I told him jokes on him I was born here. Shit, if you saw the look on his face when I said that. Also, I heard the things they said about my mom being a witch and calling her weird as fuck. I'll never sell the store. I wish I knew her, but she didn't want me around. My dad says she loves me, and I didn't grow up hating her, but this place makes me feel like she was right next to me. Also, I remember the song she used to sing to me. She used to call me her little Billy Goat. I just saw all this magic stuff and these books on spells and monsters, and I wish I knew her more. I like the same stuff too, but there has a lot of books on this one monster called the Brood Doom. Okay, let me get back to what I found of this town. I wish I knew who wrote the first journal, but who wrote this journal was Henry Wilson. This is during the Civil War times, and this town is still to itself, and an army general of the South took this town over as a base of operations back then. The general isn't named, but I have a journal by him. Wow, this is not even talked about in the town. Henry Wilson is the mayor of the town, and he isn't putting up a fight. He's telling the townspeople just let this general do his thing and then they will leave. Now I'm curious what is in the general's book. Also, why doesn't the town even mention this in their history? This is the best fucking day of my life. I just met Maxwell. Like Maxwell from Stories from the Lost. He came into my bookstore and I tried to play it cool, but I fucked up. I showed him I'm a subscriber and that he inspired me to start my podcast. Now, this is a small world because he is from this fucking town. The bad side, he is related to the dipshit mayor. But he is chill as fuck. He came in looking for stories of the Brood Doom. Now I showed him everything I had. We started talking about it. I never knew about the nursery rhyme, but Max, see, we're becoming cool. Told me what he knew. Now, some of the things he knew sounded a lot like these journals I've been reading lately. I asked if we could do a joint podcast, and he said, yeah, PC, that's so cool. And he's willing to help an up-and-coming podcaster out. We sat in here for hours looking up stuff. The journal wasn't for the war general, as I said earlier. It was from a soldier who wanted to become a writer. He mentioned strange things that went on while they stayed there, like all the tires going flat, and that the townspeople wouldn't help them. Also, soldiers went missing. Now, with everything going on, he wrote one thing that got me. His best friend was next door to him, and he had a strange mark on the door. The last thing he wrote was in a hurry, and it said it ate him. Also, he wrote God save him. Okay, so this is going to be different from the regular episode. My girlfriend is freaking out, saying she hears the voice and she wants me to leave. Now I don't hear anything, but my girlfriend started singing the song my mom used to sing to me. I have never sung that song ever in front of her. Also, I always feel my mom around me like she's right next to me. But me and Max are on a breakthrough about this. Max is gone dealing with personal stuff. Also, if you're listening to this podcast, I want you to know that you aren't alone, and there are programs in your town that can help you. So, if you're thinking about hurting yourself, please don't. We all love you for you, and no one can ever replace you. Trust me when I say this mental health. It takes more than one person. It takes us all to help. Okay, let's get back to it. I've been reading, and that the nursery rhyme is one part a puzzle and the other part a list. I found that the rhyme goes, 1 path, 2 path, 3 path, 4. What path will he take? May he not knock on my door? For if he knocks on your door, your fate you will meet. What can you offer so you don't be his treat? I'm not going to lie, that rhyme is kind of whack, but these are the same people who came up with the word Fortnite. Let me get back on track. The path has to be an option, like ways to a location. But what does it lead you to?
Curse.
Okay, it's the next morning, and I'm sorry, but the power went out in the whole town. Max stopped by, and he seemed scared of something. I know he's going through a lot, and I'm trying to be a friend, but I don't want to overcrowd him. I gave him these journals, and told him no one knows about them, and I hope they help. I'm realizing that he's not doing this for a podcast and for something else. Also, the town is getting ready for this festival tonight. I've been here for a while, and I've never heard about this. I don't know what's going on. Wait a minute, if my computer connection fail, I'll...
Seth, if this is you, I'm sorry I'm dead. They tricked you to bring you back to this town. Don't be afraid, I've made ruins to keep you safe from the Brood Dune. But they don't work on man. I need to tell you so you can fight this and get out of the town. Now, you won't believe me, and I understand. You might even hate me. And I understand that also. I'm almost 500 years old. I'm one of the original settlers, and so is Henry Wilson. He's not the fourth. He's the original. The Brood Dune is a beast that's as old as time. He comes from the old world, and that he can grant wishes. He traveled here after leaving our old home. He ate the first group here, well before we got here. Henry talked to the natives, and they told him to offer the beast something to let us all go free. Little did we know they would be sealing our fate. The Brood Dune can be killed, but that's by a magic blade that I have in the shop, or by destroying the town. It's his source of food and power. I can't go into details about everything, and if this is all true, then Henry was onto me, and now he has you to take my place. You are protected by my blood, so it won't eat you. But I'm not sure if the spell will work. My billy goat, I've never left you, and I love you more than you can ever imagine. But the cult of midnight will be upon you soon.
Wait, that was... That's my mom.
Well, this is interesting. I would say thank you for uploading this to Channel Effect, but that would be a lie. I can hear your heart beating. Maxwell.